Thoughts on what's happening this weekend, mate?
Right, okay. Red one down, finish off welding on it, start putting all the bush kit on it and the shocks and stuff like that. That's a good to go. That still needs an engine, I think. Engine in that one once it's finished wax oiling it into the green one. And then just tidy up, finish off, double check everything, make sure everything's tight underneath. Get the brakes bled and salted on that one. The Defender, finish off cleaning the front end up. Again, the new engine's going to go into that one, I believe. Put that into that one, and then just try and do whatever else we can do with it, just to make it, get it right. So maybe trying to sort the doors out for the rear sides.
That's what the new hinges are for, yeah.
Yeah, and then try and get it wax oiled again this weekend if we can.
Fantastic.
So then that'll be good.
Oh, hello, John.
Just had a look at the brake issue on this disco here, and we found that the flexi pipes aren't quite long enough. With the lift that we've put on the vehicles, if we go cross country and we've got full capacity on the lift, we've got a tendency to ripping the hoses apart. So what we're going to do now is we've manufactured some brackets, so we're going to drop the bracket down closer to the axle, so we've got plenty of flexibility in the flexi pipes. So if I can just show you, so what we're going to do, this is where they should be mounted, but from there, this is obviously at full flex because it's up in the air. So, but from there down to where it should be mounted on the back of on the top of the hub is too long. So what we're going to do is going to use these two bolts and the two bolts that are holding the steering box on the other side. Make a bracket, come out from there. Yeah, and then that gives us that much drop, which then gives us plenty of flex from there to the top of the hub.
So you won't be putting any of the copper pipe we previously spoke about on that, you'll be using the flexi hose as it is?
Yeah, the flexi hose goes from basically from the chassis to the axle, and then from the hub or from the brake caliper itself to the flexi hose is a copper pipe.
Okay.
So it's a small bit of copper pipe, and then obviously the copper pipe from the main braking system to this bracket.
Okay, well, as Stuart explained earlier on, we've got a bit of an issue with the braided brake lines. They're not going to be long enough when the axles, the shock absorbers at full stretch. So Rob's fabricated a bracket for us that we've bolted onto the chassis using the left-hand drive steering box mount bolt holes. And then we'll bring a brake line down through this gap here, which will go down to here. We'll have to make that line up completely. The original used to go into this bracket here, so we've moved it down effectively by about 8 inches, which should solve our problem with the travel.
We're at the workshop, which is just behind me here. We'll take you around there and show you what work's been going on today. So here we are. How are you doing today, John?
Well, I'm not bad.
You're not bad. Oh, that's better than yesterday, isn't it?
At the moment.
At the moment.
I've got some issues, but I'll tell you about them later.
Oh, that's off a goodie. Right, so what have you been up to then?
Well, the day, apart from being kicked off a site first thing this morning.
Aye, well that was deserved.
Right, so what we've done is we've taken off this roof panel here, re-stripped there, done the sides here and along the bottom.
And what's that been done for?
That will enable us to put doors in there, am I right?
Ah, the gull wing doors, is that?
Gull wing doors, aye. Gull wing doors.
So we've took that after. If you can show us one of the bars that we took off, John.
I'll show you one of them later. Here's one I made earlier.
I know, I mean the one that was all rusted up.
Aye, one of them.
So that's the main reason we've took it off, John, isn't it? Because we want to de-rust all that, didn't we?
See this here? All this needs de-rusting there. Clean it up.
And then to keep the integrity of the hole that's there already, we're going to put all that stuff back in once it's all cleaned up,
right.
Ready for the gull wing doors. What you got to do in there then, John?
Right, what we've got to do in here,
You're the hammerman.
we're going to take these plates off.
Aye.
And then we're going to do a bit of welding before we put the.
There's that hole over there, isn't it, John?
There's a hole up there, let's see. Them two wee things there, right? So we take these two plates off, and then that'll be ready. Been cleaned up, be ready for the welding.
And that's ready for the new engine to go in, eh?
Ready for the new engine, brand new engine.
Brand new engine. So this has been done on both sides, eh?
Right, it's been done on both sides.
Good stuff. Right, Mac, you can show us all the other stuff that's been done in the workshop there now.
Sure.
He's one of the mechanics, he's the Expedition mechanic for the Expedition. Mac's ex-Royal Engineers, hurrah for the CRE and all that.
Yeah.
So,
apparently I did something right in the careers office, they didn't put me in REME.
shh, don't mention that in front of the REME guys.
folk are in here.
Aye. Right, so what's going on here then, mate?
So what we've got is Rob is hard at work finishing off the boot floor.
Yeah.
There was, instead of just having a regular section of boot floor go in, there was a lot of rot around the edges of the boot
Well, we'll
floor
go and
panel.
talk to Rob.
Yeah, let's go and talk to Rob.
You just fill us in what you're doing now, mate.
I'm trying to weld in all the returns that we got onto the bottom of the boot floor.
Do you want to show us?
Yep.
You want to drop the wrap down?
Oh, you show us the one you're working on the now, Rob, and the bit you've done already, yeah?
So under here, all of these return sections, a lot of these return sections are rotten.
Yeah.
Just like the one that you've got above you as well.
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
Not the prettiest of welds, but it's got to get in there. So.
And you're doing one over here, aren't you, mate?
And I've got to repair. I've got to do the one over here as well. There's another
And this
piece,
hole here,
and
yeah.
this hole here, which is obviously onto the main body mount.
And that's before you can put the boot lid in, yeah?
That's before I can put the boot lid.
Right, good on you, pal. Right, Mike, if you want to take us a bit again.
Right, yeah, so obviously Rob's got a lot of welding to do.
Or before we go on, Rob, you did this wing as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did this one up in here.
Oh, sorry,
I've
wheel
welded
arch I
all
meant
that
to say,
one,
sorry. So you welded in there, didn't you? And put a new section in this corner here.
Yeah.
So that's all done now. Good job, mate. And what's Richard working on? Richard?
Nobody really. Richard doesn't know.
Richard, what are you working on? You working on them oil lines?
I'm trying to put a replacement copper brake line in.
All right,
for the
yeah.
Caliper. It's not going in very well.
Is it not? I'm sure you'll crack on, mate.
A bit of a nightmare to line up to get.
What about this door here, Mac?
So what's happening with this? This is another job for Rob. The outer door skins on Land Rovers, all the outer panels are made of aluminium. But what they do is, to save a bit of money, they make steel frames. So all this here is steel.
Yeah.
And what you get is it's usually pop riveted together with aluminium. So what you get is you get a chemical reaction between the two that creates rot and rust.
So oxidizes
It
and all that, yeah?
oxidises and it essentially rots out like this. So what Rob's got to do once he's finished with the boot floor is So what he's got to do is he's got to cut this section completely out, and this repair section which he's gone out and found. Apparently they're 10 quid a piece, so a bit of a bargain.
I think he got them from the Newbury sort out, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah. He went to the Newbury sort out for a little look around, a little bit of inspiration and some contacts. And he found these repair pieces, and all they do essentially is you cut out this old piece, and then you weld this piece to the frame, the steel frame, and then obviously you drill your own holes for pop riveting.
Aye.
But one of the good things that it's got is you can see that there's these extra drain holes
Yep.
in them, and there's little pieces so that
Absolutely.
any moisture that makes its way down the back of the window inside doesn't all pool up in here like it does standard. It drains out through the bottom. So that means that in theory our Land Rover doors should never rot out again, in theory. Another little thing Stu Ward found was the extended brake lines that we've put on. Through a little miscommunication between ourselves, we bought standard length fuel hoses on the front, which you can just see one there with the yellow tag on it there, Billy.
Yeah.
What we should have done was we should have bought the extended ones that are for the 2-inch lift, because this spring is now no longer standard ride height, it's 2 inches taller. But 2 inches is quite a bit. So the solution that Stu's come up with, rather than buy all new brake lines, so what Stu's done is he's moved from this standard bracket on the wing here, he's moved it down here, hence the reason Richard is putting all new brake lines in across, because where we've moved them all, you can't exactly just bend them around on themselves. Yep. They have to be sort of gently bent over no more than 90 degrees, otherwise they pinch. So that's what he's done there, and that's what Richard's just in the process of, because this is Billy's truck, and I think
It's got to be right, this one, isn't it? The brakes have got to work.
Exactly.
A lot of weight to carry this one.
Well, you know, they do say that. So yeah, lads have got plenty to carry on with.
What's that? I can see the shiny bit over there.
Oh, shiny things.
Shiny things. We like shiny things. Soldiers always like shiny things.
Right, so this is our power plant, the TDI 300 engine. The more observant among you might notice that it's all shiny and new. This is what we call a crated engine, or a boxed engine. This one came out of the actual Land Rover factory and was put into a box as a spare. So what we were planning on doing was pulling the lumps, which is what we've done out of all the vehicles so far, and reconditioning them. And that's what's going to power this red Discovery behind me. But what we decided is that the Defender, we've gone all out on it. We've tried to make it as special as possible, and we felt there was something just not right about putting a second-hand engine back into the Defender. So Tom went to Maltings and found that they had a boxed engine on the shelf. So what we're going to do is where it's missing things like the front timing cover, gears, obviously needs water pump, manifolds, turbo, flywheel, all that kind of good stuff that goes along with it, not including things like starter motors, alternators, belts, etc. So what we're going to do is we had a blue Discovery that we pulled apart essentially for spares. The engine, Tom and I opened it up to see if we could perhaps rescue the engine, recondition it, and have that as a boxed spare. And unfortunately, all the liners were rusted. The cylinder head, honest to Christ, I pulled it off, and you could look at it like that, and you could see the visible bow in the cylinder head. So we measured the block. We found that the block was not flat either. So the whole thing was scrap metal essentially. So all the ancillaries.
We wondered why that was overheating.
Apparently it had a gauge on it, and it broke the needle on the gauge. It was that hot. But, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to use that engine as a donor engine for things like the timing cover, the flywheel, all that sort of stuff that's still good. And we're going to use that to build up, put into the Defender. But what that means for us is that it means that we now have a spare engine. So where we've still got the original engine for this Defender, and we've still got the two original engines for the two Discos. So it means that we will still have a spare engine. So the idea is that even though we're going to be off in the hills far and wide with the Expedition, because of nowadays logistics, is he doing something behind me? Because of nowadays far and wide logistics, it means that the people at VIA that we leave behind, they can put this onto a pallet and they can send it out to anywhere like Bosnia, Greece, wherever. If we do unfortunately pop an engine, then it means we can change it in the field. That's the idea, is that we'll have one sitting at the back. But what we're hoping is that if we can have enough time to run in this engine for the Defender, it will essentially be a brand new, or it is a brand new engine, but it will be a brand new setup for the whole thing.
Fantastic, mate. So we'll just go to John again to sign off for the day, because he likes to say a wee message to his fans.
We need your catchphrase, John.
So John.
Hello.
Hello, John. What have you got to say to your fans today?
Well, I'm a wee bit tired.
You're a wee bit tired? How's that then?
1 minute I'm on site, and then I'm off site.
Who kicked you off site then?
Well, the project manager.
Who's that?
Big Billy.
Who, me?
You.
I don't remember doing that, John.
Done.
Oh, how did I kick you off site?
You sure?
Do you mean I sent you on the job?
Well, that's off site, isn't it?
On a job?
And I'll have something to say when we get back.
Say it to your fans.
I mean, I think this whole week's been really tragic, you know. Really, really tragic.
I think we're due a trial separation.
Well, it's something like that, because we've been together for the whole week.
Aye, so we're having a trial separation this weekend, are we?
Trial separation. So if you come up here, right?
I'll still see you later on though, won't I?
Aye, well, because we're still pals.
Because I still miss you though, huh?
Aye, well, I'll get a nice big cuddle when I get back.
Oh, that's alright.
And I'll get you a pot of money, hopefully.
A pot of money?
Aye, yeah, pot of money.
You off to see your fans, are you?
I'll have to see my fans.
Aye. So John, what have you got to say for yourself then?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm looking forward to Saturday and Sunday. You know,
How's that then, John?
Well, as I said, we said earlier, we're having a trial separation. And
I find that quite harsh, the trial separation, because I'm your pal.
Well, you're my pal. Well, what do you mean it's a bit harsh?
Why do we need a trial separation then?
Because you're getting on my nerves.
Oh.
That's why.
Alright. Apparently I get on his nerves.
Aye. That's very nice.
I'm hurt, I have to say. I'm hurt. Oh, I'm hurt, aye.
I'm away.
Right, that's it. You're chucked by the way. Please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at VIA Charity.